Hi guys, so today I want to talk about whether you should be a limited company if you work for yourself, if you have your own business. So this is probably more relevant if you're starting out or you're self-employed and you've been self-employed for a few years and you're just considering if you're missing a trick by not being limited. This is quite a common question I see with people that kind of quit their jobs, they go it alone, they start register as self-employed because it's the easiest thing to do at the beginning. It's easy to understand. You don't have to learn about being a limited company. And that period can tick over for some time. It might be 1 year, it might be 2 years, even 3 or 4 years, and you're still questioning, should you be a limited company? Equally, you might have not started your business yet and you're just wondering, should you be a limited company from the very beginning? So I always refer back to, and I've got some content on my website on this subject, I always refer back to the three main potential reasons for going limited. There are some others, but these are the most common reasons. So in no particular order, one is potential tax savings, which we're going to talk about in a second. So can I save tax by being a limited company? That is often a go-to, probably number one for many people. And the next one is it going to change how my customers view me? Is it a status thing? Are my customers, are my suppliers, are they going to look at me in a lesser light if I'm not limited? Because some corporate companies or virtual all corporate companies kind of expect to deal with a limited company. So it does depend on your client base in that perspective. And number three is protection. So you do have an extra layer of protection being a limited company because you are not the business. You have obligations, you have responsibilities. If you go onto Companies House and type directors' responsibilities, you will see there's lots of things you still need to think of, but you are protected more than if you were just self-employed. So they're the three main reasons. So I'm just going to really quickly touch upon them. So the tax reason, number one, is really not as big as it used to be. So back in the day, you could save quite a lot of money and it was quite simple calculations to say you're better off being a limited company, and you didn't really need to have a super high revenue to justify going limited. It was maybe 20 odd thousand pounds and numbers kind of worked for you. Now there are not really easy jump out obvious reasons that you should go limited for tax. It's quite that simple, and people that try and blur the lines and get too techie, they're just throwing jargon at you as an accountant, if I'm honest. The reason that the situation when you can benefit from tax is if you are likely to earn well in excess of £50,000, which is the higher rate tax bracket. Then when you get to that point, if you're going to earn more than that and you don't need all of the money, so let's say you've earned £100,000, you don't need all of the money and you could pay yourself from your limited company £50,000 in total, including your salary, including your dividends. I'm not going to go into that in this video. And you can leave the rest of the money in your company for a rainy day, put it into pensions, all that sort of stuff, and you will benefit from not having to pay higher rate tax. If you were self-employed with £100,000 worth of earnings, you would have to pay tax on £100,000. There's other things you can do. You can split it with a partner. You can pay your partner a salary. I'll cover that in a different video, but that's a very obvious example where it's best to be limited. But to be honest, if you're not at those sort of numbers, there's no compelling tax reason. Status, it depends what you do. If you're a hairdresser, if you're a tattoo artist, or you make flowers for the public, but basically if you're business to customer, they're probably not fussed that you're limited. You might get some kind of savvy people that do pay attention, but they probably still don't care. If you're business to business, it's probably more of a bigger thing from a status perspective being limited. And protection, it can give you that extra protection. Ironically, it probably protects you from HMRC, because if you get in trouble with the VAT man, your corporation tax, whatever it is, then it's as long as you've not abused the company as a director, which is a different topic. As long as you've not taken too much money out of the business, then you don't owe the money personally, the company does. So you do have an extra layer of protection, although any loans still have a personal guarantee. So there's definitely extra protection. I always say if you're going to become VAT registered, so if you're going over the 80k revenue limit, I personally recommend going limited because it just gives you that peace of mind. So really short, sweet, 3 tips, but reach out if you've got any questions. Thanks guys, cheers.